My name is, okay, so good day. My name is Juliet Adams. I'm the creator of the Frederick Press. I'm a strong advocate for education. I'm also an educator. And what I've discovered in my experience, I'm an immigrant from the Caribbean, is that the politics is so, it's a part of, it is so ingrained in the US system that individuals sleep, talk, interact with you based on political ideologies. And the area that I found that is so lacking is that the average citizen does not understand how much power they have to enact change, to make a difference. And so I wrote a 5-book series that is under the, it's under the name of the Gifted and Magical series. Now, it's a 5-book series, easy to read. The book that I've been advertising the most is The Economic Power of One, a grassroots perspective, which shows that individuals need to take the control back to themselves and the fundamental principles of Adam Smith. Typically, when you talk about economics, how a country runs, the state of the US economy, individuals leave that for, the economist, someone who's into finance. What I've done, I've brought it to the ordinary citizen to say that the change is with you. And let me just give you a quick example. Take, for example, wages. At Amazon, there's a big issue. Amazon, one of the largest employer, and there's an issue with wages. But Adam Smith tells you how wages are determined. Wages determined based on, how much education you have, how dangerous that job is, how the demand is. So you as an entrepreneur can legitimately demand what to quantize or to the value for your products and goods. So that's how vital that is. But however, I just quickly want to share with you, when I read that article, Black History Through the Years, the name of the article on Fox News is Black History Through the Years, 10 years, 10 famous figures in the US. Let me go that over very quickly for you. Black History Through the Years, 10 years, 10 famous figures in the US. Frederick Douglass was one of them. Frederick Douglass, you had Chisholm, you had Martin Luther King, and you can guess Ida Wells. And the amount of hate, the amount of hate that was spewed out, it was shocking. And I said, African Americans, what I gathered from that is that those who were spewing out that hate, they did not realize they could not take the glory, the shine, and the achievement. They didn't know. And so when it flashed to them and the figures were Black, they could not, so they retaliated. And it was like, okay, do you know the real truth behind Martin Luther King and George Floyd and the hatred and the criminality of Blacks? And so Democrat versus Republicans, it brings you to the platform to understand that political parties change, because one of the issues was that, okay, Republicans freed Blacks, but I said, what happened when Goldwater came on the scene? I mean, the Southern strategy, what happened to Nixon? I said, you're not telling the whole story. And so the commentator responded, well, get them to work. Because one of the narrative is that Blacks are lazy and they're not working, and that's why they're not earning what they should earn. The Democratic Party, yes, there's a lot that have been done, and a lot of the infrastructure that still exists is due to the Democratic Party, and there needs to be a demand for them to root those institutional racism systems out. And so this gives you a very objective view, basically saying, listen, if whatever your political persuasion is, get your party to do the work. Understand that there's been a transition, parties change, and that the change that you want, you have a right to that change. So basically, that's a 5-book series. For more information, you can go on www.thefrederickpress.com. I'm a very strong advocate, and I just would like to alert you, when an individual take up that political narrative, there's a lot of pushback. I get a lot of pushback. It's not easy. It comes in all directions. It comes from political parties, the Democratic as well as the Republican Party. But for me, I know that that's my mission, and I'm going to go it to the very end, to educate individuals that the power is in your hands, and you need to stop looking up and look to yourself, because there's a lot of information being peddled. We have 2022 coming, 2024. It's not going to get better unless the people decide to make it better. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Juliet. Thank you so much. And concert to that, the culmination, we have businesses, we work, and we're thriving, and we have families and communities to protect and to care for. But the culmination of what we do has to have a center point of focus, direction, and capacity. And so I appreciate Juliet Adams for her book and her discussion of history versus the future. And it's a powerful thing, because when you're driving down the road in your 3 Series, 5 Series, 7 Series BMW, the power of how you get where you're going has to do with who you are and who you have in your back seat and your back pocket, and also on your breast chest pockets, because that's what's driving you. That's what's driving you. What's really, really driving you, what's sensitive to you at home. So thank you for that, Juliet. I appreciate your comments and suggestions. All right.
And Juliet is going to be a big part of the Black History Month we are working on. So we'll be having our next event on Monday, the 21st, which Donna Ford will be the sponsor. And we will then follow up with the 24th, which will be the forum with a lot of discussion and roundtables and workshops. Okay. And this will be one of the giveaways. I always ask my authors to give us 3 books, and they always wonder what is the 3rd book for. But we will be raffling this one. And so you really want to get this. So by attending, how do you get it? You just have to attend. Or if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, just write us a comment, and then we'll take all the names together. And on the 24th, we'll pick the lot, and you will get this delivered to your home. So that is our prize for the Black History Month. Okay. Thank you for sponsoring that, Juliet. Yeah. So my next, we have to keep moving very quickly. So Tamisha Mason, can we see you? Tamisha?
All right.
Moving right along, going once.
She's there. I can see her.
There she is.
She's
okay.
Now, before she comes on, I just need to tell you, I'm really impressed